All right, guys, happy Friday, June 7th, coming to you not tired at all. And sometimes people think, well, like, how do you do it? I run at all ends with kids. I have 4 kids. I am a husband. I am a leader. I am a coach. But I do it because I truly feel like I have a desire, no matter what. Like that desire pulls me through. Like I make no room for excuses, no room for inaction. I just do that. And so I was thinking about this industry this morning, and I wanted to just share my thoughts with you guys. And if this lands, if this resonates, then good. And it's not meant to offend anybody, but if it stirs something within you, then good. That's why we come to coaching. Listen, like I said, I have a crazy schedule. I have kids. I have a family. Yesterday I woke up at 5. I drove to Berkeley to host the weekly marketing meeting. It has not been in existence since January of 2020, right before pandemic. Actually, March is when they closed it down. So that meeting is something that they wanted to relaunch. Kenny and I committed to relaunching that meeting. So after that, which was a really good meeting, thought that it was well attended. From there, I drove to Daly City to check out the new office, meet with some team members, did some coaching, did the Zillow auditions, went to lunch with a few team members. From there, had a couple coaching sessions in the car, had a recruiting call, got to the office in Oakland, had another call, did that call, then went up to a Twilight open house up in the Oakland Hills to support Kenny and Jung Hee. Then from there, I went back to the office and hung out with Patty and some great people for game night, and then came home and was able to get in bed by 10 o'clock. Woke up this morning, got 2 kids ready for camp as well as summer school, and then I was here ready and prepped and prepared for you guys. Why am I telling you this? There's never the thought that I don't have the time. We make the time if it's that important to you. So if you're not taking action, if you're not doing the important things, if you're not stepping up, if you're not making the calls, if you're not prospecting, if you're not making the videos, my question to you and to anybody that will see this in the future is, do you really want it? Like, do you really want it? If you allow inaction to creep in and you allow yourself to procrastinate, if I'm just keeping it real with everybody, like, how bad do you actually want it? How bad do you actually want it? There will never be a time that I'm going to make an excuse. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. I was thinking about our industry and what it takes. Our industry is so simple. Show up, be disciplined enough to be consistent, and all things will change in your business. I promise you, the moment you lack inconsistency is the moment that your bank account is deficient. I want to share that thought with you, share that sentiment with you. Let's go ahead and get rolling on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. We'll go to Darnell. Darnell, I always appreciate your words of wisdom. You are you speak poetically, my man, and I really appreciate you when you grab the mic. So if you can, bring us out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. If we have any guests on the line, what can they expect from today's call? Let's go, Darnell.
Right on, man. I appreciate that edification. If you're on the call and you're new to this call, expect motivation. I can't say it enough. What I'm going to leave you with is my mantra, which I've mentioned, I think last week. Today is the big day. Wake up every day, treat every day like it's the big day, and approach it with all the energy you got.
Beautiful. I love it, my man. I appreciate it. And let's go over to one other person. Let's go to Stephanie. Stephanie, we have some guests on the line today. Stephanie, if you could say what to expect from this call from your vantage point, what would it be?
Yes, I love this call. Elias, you are amazing. This is the room you need to be in to help get you motivated, to hear other perspectives, to get ideas, and to get you fired up, especially like days for today. Today's Friday, right? Today's our Monday. Okay, in real estate. We're going to be working all weekend long. So this call is going to get you fired up, get you some good information so you can get out there and work your ass off. We got to get out there and hit the ground running. So
I love it. I love it. Well, happy Monday to everybody. I love that sentiment. So let's go right in. I have some notes here. I just want to share some thoughts, and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys. And I want you to prep for today's call. I want to obviously know what action that you took this week, but I want to know what uncomfortable action that you took this week, right? For example, we did Zillow auditions this week. That shit is uncomfortable. It's weird. It's clunky. It's just like you're talking to me and talking to Dan. It's very uncomfortable, but people stepped up. So I want to know what action you took and what were the results. But I think more importantly for this call, like, what was the uncomfortable action that you took this week? Was it the door knocking? Was it this? I don't know what it is, but feel free to put your hands up. But I read this quote, and I don't know when I wrote it and who I got it from. I think it was maybe Bill Pipes, but it was a while back. And I want someone to finish this sentence, and maybe it's Mel, maybe you remember this. Mel, do you remember this phrase? The market will discipline those who do not what? Do you remember the ending of that?
Take action?
No, we're close though. We're close. Anybody else remember that quote? Otis, you remember that? The market will discipline those who do not what?
Show up. Sorry,
No.
I'm still guessing.
It's all right. It's all right. Otis, it's
Adapt? Is it adapt? Adapt?
Yeah, no, but I like where you guys are thinking. Anybody else want to take a crack at that? Let's go, Michael Swanson. The market will discipline those who do not what?
Oh, careful, baby.
20. Study it. All right. I'm gonna go to Jessica Segura Hernandez because she's just waking up with her hoodie. Let's go to you really quick. Jessica Hernandez. The market will discipline those who do not what?
Who do not. Did someone say show up?
They did. Yeah, I think Mel said that. I think Otis said that. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's in the chat. Somebody wrote it.
Persevere?
No, it's all right. It's all right. So, Darnell, finish this quote, my man, because you nailed it right on. The market will discipline those who do not what?
Discipline themselves.
Absolutely. And sorry if there's kids on the line today. Listen, the market will discipline those who choose not to discipline themselves. And here's what happens. We're always going to go through changes. And listen, remember when the news of the settlement first dropped? We were a little bit worried. I think by now, some of that subsided. We're getting into our flow. We could explain agency agreement, or we're at least getting better at explaining agency agreement. We're getting more comfortable talking about commission. Consumers are a little bit more comfortable. All the doom and gloom noise that has started to subside, just like every single thing else that happens in our industry. Interest rates spike. This is happening. Oh my God. At the end of the day, if you're not disciplined and you're just pulled in all these different directions and you're not just staying in the pocket, the market will discipline those who do not discipline themselves. And I came across that and I wanted to share that with you guys. You guys got to stay ahead of the game. You got to study, you got to focus, you got to prospect, you got to lead gen, you got to do all the things. You guys are running a business here. This isn't a hobby. And if you want to be a hobbyist, then go be somewhere else. This is not the industry for you. This is a game of professionals. This is people that want to win. This is a game of champions. So I wanted to share that with you. Discipline yourself or the market will discipline you. So let's get right into the conversation today. I want to know what action you took this week. What was the strategies? What did you deploy? What did you launch? What did you send? Who did you connect with? How many appointments did you go on? All those types of things. Did you get into contract? Did you sign a new listing? Whatever it was. I want to know what action you took, the strategies that you took, how you won, and then what was some of the uncomfortable action that you took this week. And I want to learn from you, and I want them to learn from you. So I have 3 people in the queue. It is Christina Montiel. Christina Montiel, I met a friend of yours last night. I forgot her name, though. She was at Patty Goodspeed's event.
Oh, I think it's I forgot her name, but yes, I know who you are.
Great friend. Let's go. We'll go, Christina. Darnell, you'll be on deck. Michael Swanson, and if I can encourage, if I can push you guys, I need 2 more people in the queue. You guys have had busy weeks. I've seen you guys. Let's share with the collective, because one person's challenge and one person's success may be the story that you need to hear. And that's what's up, you guys. Way to get in the queue. Leave those hands up. Let's go to Christina Montiel. Let's kick this thing off. Let's go.
I remember her name, Sissy.
There you go. Best friends forever. Let's go.
So good morning, family. So good to be here. So grateful for another day. Getting on that Zillow call yesterday was interesting. I just have to get myself always out of the comfort zone. Elias always says that, push me to that. Kelly also was pushing me to just get it on, girl, just do it, And this week also we got a rental. So we got the signed documents assigned, and we're working on that. I'm just thankful that my mindset is shifting, and I'm not just sitting on my chair and waiting for anything to fall off the skies, right? I'm putting myself out there. I'm getting out of the comfort zone that it's very intimidating, fears, come out, but I'm surrounded by you guys, and you guys make me better every day. So when I see, another person like, oh no, we gotta do it, I'm just like, oh, okay, let's do it, Christina. Just put your big girl's penny on and do it. So that's what I'm doing.
I love
Even if
that.
it is a no, I'm doing it.
I love that. And who's been that one person or people other than this call that has been in that corner to push you to say, hey, put your fucking gym shoes on. I'm picking you up. Let's go. Who's that person?
Well, my girl Kelly, that woman, Kelly, that woman pushes me to my limits too.
Hey, listen. I'm sure you can talk to Mel. I'm sure you can talk to other people on this call.
Yes.
The people that care about you the most are going to push you to your limits. And sometimes you're like, oh, I hate her. All right. He had a point. She had a point. It's happened to the best of us. All right. So good stuff. I appreciate your contribution. Let's keep this ball rolling. Let's go Darnell, Michael Swanson, and then Jessica Segura Hernandez. You will be on deck, and then we'll get through all of the hands. Make sure to keep them up. Let's go Darnell. And thank you guys for your participation early on.
Oh man, I've had an exciting week. I did my first buyer's consult, and I feel like it went really well. I was actually going to send you that video so that we can do, some film watching, watch some
Please.
coaching, man. Let me see how I did. I already feel like I said basically too much, but either way, it was a good experience. I feel like we gathered great rapport, and on top of that, I mean, it's not so uncomfortable to reach out to my fellow agents, obviously, but what I did was I reached out to a bunch of other agents to see what they had planned this week and how I can get involved, how I could help, and how I could just keep myself in the energy. Otis sent me a few collaborators that I've been able to call this week, and Kelly and I are planning on going door knocking. I have 2 open houses, both Saturday and Sunday, 2 each day that I'm doing with Sierra. So met about 17 people at the last open house I did last weekend. I've been calling them and staying updated. One of them I'm going to go and meet after Father's Day. So I'm gathering a bunch of stuff into the pipeline. I haven't gotten anything in the contract, but I'm excited to just be in the rhythm for sure.
Man, I'll tell you what, bro, diapers are expensive.
Yeah.
You got a new, you have a new motivation, right? Like I always say that you, me, the people on this call, we're always probably been pretty motivated, but then when you have a child, ooh, game over, right?
Change
It's
the game.
over, right? It's like I always tell people this. I said it on stage once. I said, don't tell me your excuses. You look that little face in their eyes and say, Daddy can't take you to vacation. Daddy can't take you to Disneyland because Daddy didn't take action. And if that doesn't hit, if that doesn't land, then we're not human, right? So my man, I appreciate that at a high level. What I want to see, my man, is hopefully there's a video, I don't know if I've seen it, about your open house. Post that shit on Facebook, make an event. I want you to call the database. And here's the thing, man, since you're grinding, you're looking for opportunities. As long as you've gotten through your 30-day checklist, you have an opportunity to go right now into the lead pond. And if you do a filter right now and you search who's looked at a house in the last 7 days that has not had communication from an agent on our team in the last 30, there's over 200 names in there. 200 names in there. Hey, Darnell, it's Elias Astuto. I wanted to call you really quick. I noticed that you recently were looking at 123 Main Street in Pittsburgh. I'm setting up my tours for Saturday and Sunday. What day do you want to go see that property? That's it. Whether it's yes, no, or whatever, you have those opportunities right now.
After the call, I'm going to need your help figuring out that filter.
All right, you got it, bro. You got it, my man. Connect
Thank
with
you.
me. But let's give him some love, some light, some praise, him and Christina for all this action. That is incredible. Way to get uncomfortable, way to do your thing. Let's go Swanee, and then we'll go Jessica, and then Erica, you'll be on deck. Let's go, Michael.
Yeah, so I had a pretty productive week. I would say the one thing I did that was kind of uncomfortable was really hone in on my my circle prospecting, cold calling. So I called for 1.5 to 2 hours each day this week. I went and got me Mojo Power Dialer so I can really lock in. And so I made over 200 calls this week. Being on the phone and having those conversations, it was tough at first. Like the first 30 minutes, the first day was a little uncomfortable, and then I settled in. So came out of it. I haven't got any any leads for right now, but I got a couple people that say, down the line, people to follow up with. So that was uncomfortable, but it yielded some benefits and it yielded some results. So
My man, so at what call and what happened? When did you start to feel like you were in a groove? Like tell me a little bit about that experience.
I would say like 10, 15 calls in. Once I got on the phone, it got uncomfortable. Once I went over the script and it didn't sound like a script, and it just sound like a conversation, and I was just sitting there on the phone having conversations, it started feeling really natural.
Oh God, I love this, man. I love that amount of calls in 1 week. Here's the thing that I'm going to give you guys, and whether or not you agree with me or not, this is my belief, and this has been tried and tested, and even with Zillow. When you look at all of the Zillow stats that have come in for the Zillow seller as well as the Zillow buyer program, statistics show that eliminating how are you hires or raises your propensity to convert for an appointment. And I know it's natural. Hi, Michael. Hi, how are you? It's Elias from EXP giving you a quick call. Just that, how are you? Eliminating that, I promise you, it gets us so much further. But while we're on this conversation, because somebody said, I don't know, basically, was that you, Darnell? Really quick, you guys, what are some words that you should be eliminating from your flow? Go ahead, Darnell, basically.
So,
What was that one? I didn't hear that one.
sorry, it was so.
So, okay, and I did a longer one because I hear it all the time. So, I see honestly, possibly, if, these are words that are just polluting your presentation. If I say, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Christina, that implies that what I wasn't honest before, I cannot stand honestly, basically going over it. It's just very tentative words. Remember, you guys are striking. You guys are wordsmith. You guys are Wu-Tang, and your sword is your mouth and your tongue and the words that you guys use. So use them appropriately. Don't fill your presentation with bullshit words that are not moving that conversation forward. All it's doing is it's stalling you so you can get your thoughts in alignment. You guys are wordsmith. You guys are Wu-Tang. Use your words and your mouth like a sword. Let's go, Jessica Segura Hernandez. Erica, you will be on deck.
Yes. So this past week on Monday, I recorded 6 videos. And I realized, I miss recording videos, and lately I haven't really been active on social media as much as I was in the past. So I got 6 videos and I've been following up with old leads, just sending emails, making phone calls. Oh, and because I posted on social media, I got a lead from a friend, and she wants to purchase an investment property in East Richmond Heights. So yeah, what else did I do? Oh, and I've just been on the MLS, just doing research on like the Richmond neighborhoods, different type of neighborhoods, and kind of just getting a sense of how how many days the properties have been on the market and like for how much they've sold. And yeah.
I love it. So Jessica, really good stuff. And I don't think when you said I haven't been on social much, I don't think the team or we see that, because it seems to me that you've still been super visible, but I appreciate the honesty. What made you uncomfortable this week? What was one thing that you did that made you super uncomfortable?
I was thinking about that. I don't think I did anything that made me uncomfortable, actually.
Okay. All right. And if that begins to be like the pattern or routine, shake it up, get super comfortable. Get super uncomfortable, but really good stuff. I love it. I love 6 videos. I think I heard Blessing say that she was going to do 6 videos, or maybe it was 3 videos or something along those lines. But really good stuff. I love it. Erica, let's go to you. Then we'll go to Liz Serta, and then we'll go to Demian.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm happy to be back on the call. I haven't been very present this week here on the calls, but I'm happy to be here because I feel already the motivation when you surround yourself with everybody that does the same thing as you, and maybe it inspires me to get out there and do the things that you guys are doing. But there's 2 things that I did this week that really was uncomfortable. So the first one was I was doing some home tours this Monday and Wednesday. And when I was doing that, there was somebody, like a plumber outside, and we were chopping it up. And it was nice because I was able to kind of promote my business and talk about my business with somebody that's kind of in the same field and works with somebody who works with people like us. So we were chopping it up, and turns out he's an investor. So I was, able to put my business like out there, and he was able to do the same. So that was uncomfortable because I had no idea I was going to run into him. So I definitely, yes, Darnell, definitely, he's on my vendors list. I have him on my fridge right now. He has like a business card magnet. So he's on my fridge. But that was the first thing that I did, but it felt good after. Second thing was I have trouble with being straightforward with people and not beating around the bush and just being stern. I have a hard time with what is the word, like setting my foot down. But anyways, I'm on this whole escrow journey, trying to close this transaction. And I had to make a few phone calls to the lender to really press them and get this transaction going, because they were trying to push back the transaction for some reason. They were trying to go on their time. So basically what I did was I went out of my way and I made a whole bunch of phone calls with escrow and the lender, trying to press them. So I finally got my word through, and they got the memo that we needed to get the ball rolling. So that was another thing that I did that I was really proud of, because I went out of my comfort zone and made a phone call to push the transaction, and I reached my goal on, getting the transaction through. So that
I
was
love this. I love this. Here's the thing. How many of you, just give me a raise of a hand, or just raise your actual physical hand, not an emoji. How many of you struggle sometimes with assertiveness? That happen? Yeah, and you guys, assertiveness in business is a very tactful approach, but it's really, really hard. If you're not used to being assertive, if you're not used to being very short, concise, and get this done, please call me back when it's done. And then you get off the call like, "Oh, was that harsh?" It's really tough. It's really tough. But once you're able to learn this skill, then when appropriate, like the scenario that you were in, then you apply that assertiveness. And it is a learned skill. It's a very, very tough skill. But what will happen is that you'll find that it's necessary, especially in negotiations, especially when you're a listing agent and you're pushing for a timeline. Like, hey, listen, if that offer's not in, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to review that. You have to be able to be assertive. And I'm so glad that you're learning that, because I promise you this, there's probably times that you're assertive with your son. There's probably times that he's doing stuff and you are just like, no, stop it, go sit down. And then it's like, oh, mom is serious, right? And so I'm sure that's already in you. And now you have to learn to apply those principles into business. And once you have it, you're like, ooh, I have like a new skill set, and it's such a powerful thing. So I'm glad that you're leaning into your assertiveness.
exactly how I felt. And it was such a proud moment, because after the call, I was like, did I just do that?
Yes, I love it. I love it. So let's continue cruising on. Congratulations. I love that. Let's go to Chris B really quick. Then I'll go to Liz, and then I'll go to Demian. And then I think Christina Nunes had her hand up too. So I want to get to Christina. Let's go, big dog. Hey, man, it was good seeing you last night.
It was great seeing you too, Elias. Had a great time. So things that I done that was uncomfortable was I got up at 6 a.m. Every day this week, Monday to Friday, when I normally get up at 7:30, just so that I could get my workout in earlier, so it doesn't cut into my like lead generation and work stuff. And I always notice all successful people, they knock out their working on themselves early, because you're not going to do it later a lot of times. Well, with my busy days, it's pretty hard for me. So I got up early. I've been feeling kind of guilty because I haven't put much into business this last couple of weeks, because my wife took her uterus out, had a hysterectomy.
Oh, geez.
So I've been having to have to be there and this and that. But regardless, I still find time to make my calls. Got a couple of buyers off the fence by following up. Got a listing in the contract in West Sacramento with Peter Lee, actually. He reached out to me because he didn't know nothing about the neighborhood. So I ran the CMAs. We double connected with the seller, and a week later she was like, "You guys are hired." So that was a win. last night going to the event, 2 hours away and nighttime on a weekday. But I wanted to support my girl Patty, and I'm glad I went. I connected with Liz again. Hey, Liz. And a lot of the agents, a couple agent team fast, Roxanne, a bunch of great people that were there, like Lady Jade. She has like 300,000 followers, a big time investor from Texas, former DJ. And it was a great event. I wish I saw more of the team fast agents there, but regardless, it was a great event there. I always try to make sure. And just keep it pushing. You might fall off a day or two, but it's easy to get back on it and get back into that mode. So don't let that day or two of failures lag and dwell on you and feel sorry for yourself. Just say that, it's just a small obstacle. Things go on in life, but get back on it, get refocused, start implementing stuff on your calendar and just get at it. I got door knocking this weekend, 200 homes. So let's go. Just keep the activity, stay focused, and plug into these coaching calls, guys. It's all good. It will happen.
Man, I love it. And it's sending light and positive healing energy to your wife. Hopefully she's okay. I remember my mom went through the same surgery. So hopefully she heals up quickly and, love and light to her. Really quick, I'm going to go over to Christina because she had her hand up before Davine and Liz. Let's go, Christina. Trying to beat the heat, I see. Let's go. What's your contribution? Let's hear from you.
Oh yeah, it's been brutal out here in Brentwood. So I've been trying to come out in the mornings. But I would say something different is something even personally I'm doing different. Having patience really this week. I'm not so much a patient person. And so, sometimes buyers do things that surprise you in escrow. And there's something that as a lender, we can sit there and prepare them, and things happen. So I had a situation come up on a file this week. And normally where I would probably start to freak out, want an answer from the client, want the documentation ASAP that day. It took time, but we got it and it all worked out. So I think reminding ourselves that it's okay, hiccups happen. Not every file is going to be perfect. Just have that patience. So that would be one thing. And then the other thing I'm trying to implement this week is really not being so scared to put my opinion out there. Last week on Synergy, Matt and Roland, came out to talk about podcasts. And one thing he said is, don't be scared to put your opinion out there. Like, people want to hear it. It's not so much to cause controversy, but it's to really put your opinion out there. So I'm really trying to implement that in a good, positive way, but not be so nervous and scared to always censor everything I have to say.
You want to take a stab at it right now? You want to share with us an opinion about something?
Okay. Yeah, I actually did a reel yesterday morning. I posted it, or the day before, talking about national rate average. And everybody's always posting a screenshot of rates. Personally, I despise that. And a lot of probably lenders cringe because that rate is so off on what the real actual rates are. So it's almost putting out their message of rates are at 7.25, rates are at 7.125. To the consumer, they're going to think an FHA loan's that, down payment assistance is that. They have no idea what rate you're referring to. So you really shouldn't be putting those I get it's kind of just you want to educate your clients, but hey, if you have a realtor partner with them, reach out to them, message them. Hey, Christina, hey, Stephanie, hey, whoever it may be, what are rates today on an FHA loan? We'll give you an estimate so you can because right now I can get you an FHA rate 6%. But if you're putting a screenshot on your IG, national average from mortgagerates.com, 7, what are you telling the consumer? Yep. So really that's one thing that I'm like, you know what? Just put it out, Christina. Like, you're not causing controversy. You're just educating. But I think it's the way I put the message out there has to be correct. So
good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I love that. I appreciate that opinion. Seriously, that's solid. I'll give you guys one of my opinions, right? It's going to cause some controversy on this call. You guys ready for it? I don't really get this whole Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle. I don't get it. And here's why. How can you say that Drake wins if he doesn't write his own lyrics? I said it. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. Come at me, bro. I'm just saying, if you're going to be an MC and write lyrics, then you should write lyrics. And if the other person has someone else writing their lyrics for them, no matter how well you deliver the lyrics, do you really have an opportunity to step in the ring and throw them things? That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But let's keep this conversation going. Before we go into the next couple of speakers, I want to encourage everybody. And here's what I want to do. Let's do a drawing every single month. I'm going to shake things up for Keep It Moving. Judith, just at 9:02, she dropped the link for group coaching ideas. Now, here's what I would like to see. I would like to see a guest speaker from the team once a month. And what I mean by that, literally that person's the co-host. I'm going to open up the room. I'm going to turn that mic over to that person, and that person is going to share a strategy, a thought, something they've built, a funnel, a flow, a campaign, whatever, or if it's a lesson about, growth, whatever that is. I want to give you guys an opportunity. If you want some mic time, and if you like to be in this environment and you feel that you have more to contribute versus a quick, brief contribution, fill out that form. If I feel the topic is fire and you come to me and say I could really deliver a 30-minute talk on this, would love to give you guys that opportunity. We've done that before. We've done that at the end of the year. We've had a couple of you speak. Let's take that to the next level. So fill out that jot form if you guys have a contribution, and don't be afraid. And maybe you've never spoken group coaching, but you have an amazing way that you've built your Trello board, or your follow-up boss is so pristine, and the way that you have all of your communication set up, your funnels, the way that you look at your deals, all these things are set up in a way that you can educate the masses. Mic is yours. The mic is yours. I'll sit back as a student and let you guys do your thing. We'll obviously prepare for that meeting so you deliver at the highest level, but I want to throw that out there to you guys. Let's go to Liserta. Liserta, I'm going to turn the mic to you. I'm going to put my camera off for 1 second. I'll be right back, but Liserta, and then Demian, you're up right next.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Nice to see your beautiful faces. Thank you for contributing. And hey, Chris, yeah, it was nice seeing you and Sophia and a couple of other fast agents at the event last night. So my, I guess, uncomfortable thing was getting into the fast booth. I actually got in there and
You went on mute.
Yeah,
Liz.
hey Liz, you're on mute. Liz,
Sorry, we have radio silence. What's going on?
she went on mute. She's trying to get it.
Oh,
There she is.
sorry. I was waiting for Elias to say, Boomer, you're on mute.
sorry. Boomer moment. Go ahead. Keep cruising.
Sorry about that. So anyway, yeah. So I was saying, my challenge was getting into the fast booth. So I decided to run like a raffle. It was a contest. I am a member of the Oakland Roots, what do you call it? Their season tickets, or I'm a season ticket holder. So I'm like, wait, why don't I just raffle two of my VIP tickets out? So I got into the fast booth, did a little video, and then did the whole contest. Chose the winner yesterday. So to me, that was something uncomfortable. And then so my action items, I'm almost gonna get into contract. I submitted an offer for one of my sister's friends. She's a first-time home buyer. She's in the education field, and so she's looking for her first property out in Sacramento. So I appreciate like Joe Ellen, who's helped me a couple of times, to help me show property down there. But yeah, we got countered, and I thought we were not going to be able to to compete, because I thought she could only qualify up to a certain amount. But we're working with Ashley, so we reconnected with Ashley to see if there was to check what today's rates were, like Christina says, and we actually were able to counter at a higher price point without asking for the credits. So hopefully, I'm praying that our offer gets accepted.
Yes.
And then last but not least, so yesterday at that event, Patty's event, I was actually making calls, working on that counter and all that. So I didn't make it on time. I got there late, but I wanted to make sure to support her, and her colleagues. I follow their podcast. You all should as well. She's also a very talented singer, which I did not know, but OMG, that girl can sing.
Wait, who
Okay.
who sings?
Patty.
I had no idea. All right, but
Oh yeah, after
yeah.
you left, she got on the mic. I was like, oh my
Wow,
God.
I had no idea.
Yes, yeah. So, so they're at the event. There was a taquero. You know, they were having the best tacos ever. And I have previously used this taquero services before, but I didn't know it was him until I started talking to him because I saw that he had a hat that said Michoacan, and I'm from Michoacan, and I was born over there. So we started chatting, and I'm like, oh my God, these tacos are delicious. And I'm like, what's your number? And then as I was going to save his number, I already had it on my contacts list. And then I'm like, oh, well, I'm an agent, you know, this is, you know, our office. And then it ends up being that he's looking to buy a ranch property. He actually he's your neighbor, Elias. He lives in Lathrop. He bought this house like back in 2011. It's already paid off.
Beautiful.
And so, yeah, so he's ready to buy a ranch property for him and his family. And so if I wouldn't have been out there talking to him, like I would have never known any of that. So you never know, you know, like just go out there and talk to people. And this is, you know, I just got to lead, you know.
I love it. I love it. Well, great stuff. Good stuff. I love how there's been that taco guy's been there multiple times at our office. And I'm glad that you finally, got to talk to him and close for a lead. Let's go to Demian, then we'll go to Chris. I'm going to show you some things and follow up, boss. And we'll start to wrap sesh. Let's go, Demian.
Good morning. Good morning. So what I have to share is more of what used to be a challenge, and I guess I noticed that it's not so much anymore. In terms of stepping out of my comfort zone, I had two clients. Excuse me, just finish this set. But
Hey, Demian, can you get a little closer to the mic because it's a little muffled? I want to make sure the audio comes in clearer.
oh, the mic is up here. That's why. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
It's still a little muffled, but we got you.
Okay. But no, I had one client basically tell me that they wanted to work with somebody else that they met at church, and usually I would let that slide and say, okay, I'm here if you need my help. But I actually had a rebuttal for this one. And I'm like, well, hey, what is this other agent going to do for you? I've already been out door knocking. This was a client that I was trying to find a place in Alameda. And it took the wife forever to respond, but she's like, no, you did everything perfectly. This is just somebody that we were introduced to from our church. So we want to give them a chance. But in that instance, I've realized how comfortable I am with those rebuttals and going back at them in a professional manner. So that one I ended up losing, but I still spoke my piece. On another one, I have a client, a return client, and they were looking in San Francisco and just not finding what they wanted in the price range. And he was like, we think we're just going to rent because we want to concentrate on having a baby. And I'm like, okay, well, I get that, but you're going to be losing this money to rent as opposed to building equity and building something for the family that you're trying to build. Like 10 minutes later, he sends me a property in West Oakland, and we just put an offer in on it last night, and we're waiting on a response for that. But again, it's just realizing that I'm not as trepidatious as I used to be, or as fearful of what happens if I keep asking questions. What happens if I keep pressing past the no? Nothing's going to happen. They're either going to work with me or they're going to maintain the no. But I mean, either way, I don't lose anything. So those were, two things that used to be uncomfortable for me that now is just a part of the flow. Like if somebody gives me pushback, I got my own pushback for it.
Oh, I love this. I love it. You guys should embrace that. You should get to the point where, like Demian's at, and it obviously takes time. Get to the point where you welcome that. You welcome the pushback. You welcome them saying that they're going to work with their uncle that sold 12 homes back in 2009. You welcome that, right? Because you know how you can serve them. You know how much better you are. You know your game. Like, oh, I'm so glad we're having this conversation. Like, you should welcome those types of conversations versus like, oh my God, I hope they don't ask that. I hope that, oh shit, they asked that. I don't know what to say. Right. And so that just takes time. Really good stuff to me. And let's go to Chris Edwards. Chris, it was good seeing you yesterday. You'll be the last contribution on this conversation. Then we're going to cruise on to a different topic. Chris Edwards. There we are.
Yeah, it wasn't activating. Good morning, Team Fast. It's basically one challenge that I'm trying to overcome again is getting back on group coaching and just simply turning on my camera and just being present. A long time, like basically this whole year I've been dealing with my daughter. So around this time it's been getting ready. So haven't been having my camera on, but that's still not an excuse. This time, well, around July, August, last year, I remember I was being active on group coaching, and I remember it was a conversation on Chat GPT, and this is like when you first started to like record and then put it on your website. And I was speaking about Chat GPT, how it helped me get out of the situation. And then when I went to the actual website, it was something that I didn't like about the title.
Yeah.
It said that Chris Edwards spills the beans on a certain topic, and where I'm from, like this is about growing as well, but where I'm from, spilling the beans relates to snitching, and it just clicked in my head like, bro, I'm far from a snitch, brother. So it was like, that's just some growth right there. Like it's not that serious, and it's just getting back on here and just letting that type of stuff go. That mentality go, and it probably wasn't anything intentional. It was probably whoever just wrote it just to be writing something, and it didn't click. So just getting over small things like that, and just trying to grow from there. And that's it. Making myself vulnerable again to be in those type of situations again, and just to grow from it. That's it.
Well, man, I truly, truly appreciate that, at a high level. And yeah, sometimes we've had stuff written and people will come back to me like, I don't really like that. And same with me, right? There's some stuff that I wouldn't really use in my style of communication, but I'm glad that you didn't let it affect you and then you moved on, and I appreciate you showing up. So you guys, a couple things I want to share with you guys, because I think that there's some huge opportunities for you guys to grow in your own way on social media. And if you're looking for something to post, I want to go here. Now, this is only applying to people that are actually on our team. If you go to Team Fast Exclusive, there is our video here. And our video here is our new video about us being #1 in the state for real trends. Now, what's cool about this video is that you guys have that asset. You guys can take that asset. Judith, if you can, just drop it in the chat, if you could do so. You guys have that video to put on your own social media to build and to let people know what's going on. This is a huge marketing opportunity for you guys. So I want to make sure that you guys grab that asset, that you guys are using that, because the more eyes that are on the company, that means the more eyes are on you. If you're the one that posted it, that means that, hey, I'm kind of curious about this whole Team Fast thing. I've been seeing it. I've been hearing it. There's a buzz. Wonderful. I'd love to talk with you, set you up with the talk with Elias and see what partnership with us actually looks like. Please do not be shy. Get this out, get the word out. Another thing I want to share with you guys is make sure that you guys are going to the economic impact update this week. Now, it's on Wednesday. If you guys have not got your tickets to this, make sure that you get this. We are having the California Association of Realtors Chief Economist and Senior VP coming out to Oakland. This is going to be a great opportunity, guys, for you to learn about the market at a very high level, but in a way that you can understand and dissect that information and then deliver it back to your consumers. Tons of screen grab opportunities, great networking opportunities. We're going to have food provided by the money store. So that's a short session. I don't want to take up all of your day. It's 11 to 1 o'clock, 1 hour economic update, 30 minutes Q&A. The rest of the time we're socializing and having food. So if you haven't got your tickets yet for this, make sure you do. Also, this is an opportunity for you to share with the public. Share with the public, invite them to come out to this amazing event and help me spread the word. Last but not least, I want you guys to look at your follow-up boss as really as a database management system, the way it truly has been built. What I want you guys all to be able to do is at any given time, I want you to be able to look at your financials. What I mean by that is I want you to be able to Shark Tank your business at any time. I should be able to get on a coaching call with you. And if you've had one-on-one coaching sessions with me, I've done this before with you. Show me your calendar, right? Open up your calendar, show me what is on your calendar, and make sure that that directly coincides with your priorities and what you feel you need to be doing in your life and in your business. Now, the way that we're able to track our business and have a more predictable business and be able to forecast it is by being able to put everything in Follow-Up Boss. Every time you make an appointment, that you update that in Follow-Up Boss. Every time that you meet that appointment, you update it in Follow-Up Boss. Every time you're in contract, so on and so.
Hey, Elias, you muted.
What happened? I don't know what happened. So the point of this is that if you know that you have set 20 appointments in the last 30 days, and based on those price points, it's going to be able to give you a total amount of volume for that appointment set on the far left category here. Well, we understand that you're not going to go on every single one of those appointments. So based on the appointments that you actually met, now what is that volume? So now you can say, okay, I've met with X amount of people. Now, if I can get, let's say 3, 5 of those people in a buyer contract, that means what I'm forecasting over the next 3 months, 2 months, 30 days, I'm forecasting X amount of potential income. Now, if your appointment set number is super low, because we know the appointment met and appointment set numbers may differ because people cancel appointments. Well, if that number is low, then you have to go back and say, you know what? I don't have enough appointments set right now to give me the type of appointments met that I need in order for me to get into contract. And so I'm behind. And the way that I get behind is that I don't prospect. I don't go to the open houses. I'm not logging people into follow-up boss. I don't have a cadence. I don't have a system. I want you guys at any given time to be able to pull up your deals and be like, okay, looking at this based on X amount of commission, I think I could forecast over the next 3 months that I'm going to make 30,000, 20,000, 10,000, whatever that number is for you. And if the number is too low on what your take is, then you got to go back and say, okay, I have to start loading up more appointments set. But this is a really good way for you guys to look at your business and be able to track it and be able to say, you know what? I have a forecastable business. The last thing I want for people is worry. The worry comes because you didn't do the work and you didn't book the appointments. Well, if you're booking the appointments, you're going on the appointments, out of those appointments that you're going on, you should be able to get people in a contract. Now, if you're not getting the people into contract, then there's a dialogue piece that's probably missing, or there's something that is a challenge in your presentation. But like Darnell said early on in the call, if you're recording your calls and you're really in tune with what you're actually saying, then let's unpack that. Let's unpack that. Because if you're going on appointments and you're not getting people into contract or they're not wanting to move forward with you, maybe there's a disconnect. And also, if you're booking appointments and they're canceling, how are we booking the appointments? So everything it should be in Follow Up Boss as an indication of where your business is and how you can grow in your business and make sure that you have a forecastable, predictable business versus just winging it. And you have to think like this. You walk into Shark Tank. And what I mean by that is that you're walking into Shark Tank, and I always give this example. Hey, my name's this, and I'm excited. Oh my God, I got my branding. I look good. And look at my brochures. Wonderful. That's all good and well. Tell me about your business. Well, my business right now is really solid. Over the last 30 days, I was able to book 90 appointments. And out of those 90 appointments, I met with 70. And based on the amount of people that I'm currently working with right now, that means I have $37 million in the pipeline. Now, I'm going to average that. I'm going to close 5% of that. So realistically, in the next 3 months, I believe that my company is going to generate $200,000 in gross commission income in the next couple months. Any more questions about my financials? That's the type of flow that I want you guys to be able to have. Well, if you don't have the data to look back, you don't even have a Shark Tankable business. So what they're going to say is, hey, great job. Come to us when you actually know your financials and you've built a solid business. So that's how I want you guys to look at your business. And that's how I want you guys to really start tracking every single thing in Follow Up Boss. Because if you want some predictability, that's going to exist in your Follow Up Boss. Any questions on that before we move forward? Any thoughts, any contributions? Anybody have anything to say? No? Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm going to show you one other thing and then we'll get rolling with contributions and close this out. All right. I want you guys to take a picture of this. I've done this in the past, but I wanted to pull it up one more time. I was reminded every single day how important your guys' schedules are. What I wanted to do is I wanted to give you a sample. And what I did is I just created something loosely. Now you guys can change this any way that you want, but you need to have a calendar that is reflecting the priorities that you have in your life, in your business. Here's a sample of a Sunday through Saturday calendar. From a Sunday, setting your goals, family time, dinner with the family, whatever that is, and then starting out your entire week, right? Whether you're doing mindfulness like Chris B was talking about, reading industry news, getting ready for the day, that flex time in the morning to look at the MLS, to get the kids off to school, to exercise, whatever that is for you. Maybe you're dropping a reel on a Monday. On Monday morning, since you just hosted 2 open houses on Saturday and Sunday, you're doing follow-up calls, you're cleaning out your inbox, you're doing all of your tasks in your CRM, you're sending out your newsletter. And then from 10 to noon, you're doing prospecting for new business. Then you spend some time at lunch. And then you go back into flex time for showings, for offer prep, for property tours. And then you go into dialogue and practice, right? This is just a sample, you guys. But the idea behind this is that you need to have an efficient work week. You need to have an efficient work week where you're practicing your skills, you're doing lead generation, you're focusing on your mind, body, and soul. Everything's prioritized. So when you hang it up for the day, you look back at the day, like, damn, I feel really accomplished. Hey, kids, let's go take a walk, right? This is a type of structure I want for you. Now, your structure may look vastly different, but this is an example of how you can build your week to do the most important things that are going to move your needle forward. Because I promise you, if you spent 3, 6, 9, 12 hours every single month focusing on your dialogue and your skill building, how well are you going to be, or how much more advanced are you going to be in 6 months from now? So you guys, here's a sample for that. Make sure to take a picture of this or ask me for additional help and support on building your own calendar, but run your business like a business. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go around the room, get a couple key contributions from the people on the call today. I'm going to go to Janice. Janice, one key takeaway from our time together today. Let's hear from you. Looking forward to our live session as well today. You're
Damn
muted.
it. Okay, now I'm unmuted. Time to get organized to move our business forward. That's the major takeaway for me, because I'm all over the place and I do things in my car because I remember last minute. So this is gonna be good.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Get super, super disciplined with your time. Get disciplined with your time. Nothing takes your energy, nothing takes your time. You are super, super regimented, and that will change your game. It will change your game. So good stuff. Otis White, let's go to you. Key takeaways from our time together today.
Really hone in on what you're lagging on. I mean, those things are the things that are probably, like you just ended with, are going to, you know, make you that much better in 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. So I mean, even myself, I've been finding myself going back to the basics on a lot of stuff. Like, you know, I had to revamp a lot of things, which I already made the errors and clarifications that we needed to do with I shared with you. Like, I've just been really stepping up since December. I made no excuses when my leg was hurt, and I'm trying to do the same thing now that I'm, you know, almost, you know, I would say I'm about a good 65, 70% right now.
Nice.
On the back end. So I'm just really tuned in. Like, I had a goal to do the 50, you know, in the first 6 months, which I did. Now on the back end, I'm trying to hopefully do double that, being on the seller team now, and, you know, wiggling out with so many new agents right now. I don't know. It could be a deal today. It could be a deal tomorrow. It could be 5 in 1 week. Just spreading the love out there. And I'm really looking forward toward the transition come August. Like, it's really going to show, you know, the difference between, you know, a lot of agents. And I think I'm prepared, and I just want to help as much as I can possibly can anybody else. I don't think it's really nothing to be fearful for, but I mean, just really honing in on your skills. Like, this is really the summer skill set, like they say, once around this time. So if you're really good at what you're at, I mean, good at what you're doing, shouldn't be nothing. But I mean, we all do need to practice what we preach.
Love it, bro. I appreciate you, and congrats once again on the seller program. Let's go to Blessing. Blessing, close us out. Key takeaways from our time together today. Let's hear from you.
You know, in the beginning, you asked what the uncomfortable thing that we did this week. And I realized for me, it was just literally sitting still and being very honest with where I've been in the last 30 days of just pouring into my business and really making sure that I'm focused on what makes sense. You realize that there's a lot of nonsense that we get caught up in. But being on the Zillow team, realizing like there's a flow and everything that's expected to carry that through, and just being honest with, what am I physically, mentally, and emotionally able to handle? That's been my uncomfortable thing. So when you say to look at our business and make it run that way, sometimes, you know, if anything's really off, it goes back to your basics and your routine. Something about what's important is off. I haven't been to the gym. I haven't been to church. And I'm realizing like that's where my foundation is off. So what do I need to do to put that back in place? Life happens. You have to give yourself the grace to fall apart and pick yourself up, and know that, you know, just because things are disrupted because people aren't around in the way that you expect them to be, doesn't mean that you get to let down everyone else that is around. So
wow,
putting my day together, putting my life together. My
Wow.
dad's not here. He'd be proud if I was still moving. So let me keep doing that.
Wow. Well, he would definitely be proud of you, and we're proud of you. And as your coach, and just as a human to human, I'm going to always be here for you guys. So thank you for all of your contributions today at a very high level. Make this weekend count. And maybe that weekend counting doesn't mean that you're grinding and doing 4 open houses. Maybe it is, or maybe it's not. Maybe your win for this weekend is just some stillness. Just some stillness. So you guys get out there and make this an amazing week for you and for your family and for your personal health. If you need anything at all, let me know. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. Peace.